What have I done? What have I become? I can't describe this. This is my mid-mic crisis.
Hello and welcome to the Mid-Mic Crisis. I am Bunchu alongside my esteemed colleague and co-host Chamber. I think it's you, Chamber. Is it you?
Am I even real? I don't even know what's
Chamber, how you doing, buddy? The real Chamber, live and in the flesh, I think.
Possibly in the meaty flesh.
The meaty clackers of the Great White North. Chamber coming at us live. Chamber, how are you? If you don't understand what we're talking about yet, you shortly will, because we've got some really cool stuff to show you and share with you today. All of it set to probably just blow your mind on what is real, what is not real, and where the world is headed. So that's what we're going to discuss today. But first, Chamber, looking good. Not a Hawaiian shirt today. Something more like a what I would imagine Canadian picnic tables all look like.
Yeah, no, yeah, exactly what Canadian picnic tables would look like. This is just a regular. I don't know, what do you call that? Like a checkered shirt,
It's a
flannel.
Flannel, yeah.
Yeah. It's nothing too crazy today. But yeah, no, fun day.
What's your hat say?
Shred.
Wow.
I'm a real
Yo,
cool guy.
You are just one of the coolest. I know. That's for sure. But all right. Well, we were off last week. So
yeah, I was away.
It's been a little bit since we've chatted. Tell the people where you were and how your time was.
I was away on a little bit of a holiday, a little beach holiday for a week. It was awesome. Just parked at the beach. We rented a cottage. It ran right on to your own private beach. Literally stayed there for, I don't even think we left for like a day. Normally we do like day trips and stuff like that, but it was so hot. It was like, I'm trying to do the conversion into Fahrenheit. It was probably 95 degrees most days. And yeah, just piping hot, and lots of swimming in the waters of Lake Erie.
Oh, very nice. In the waters of Lake Minnetonka.
Yeah, that's right.
The question, did you get any dead bodies washing up on shore today?
No. I did, however, tell both my daughters that it happened a couple of years back, because they weren't taking the water seriously enough for my liking. They were a little too nonchalant with the dangers that lurk in these big bodies of water, just as far as undertows and currents and whatnot. And they are not strong swimmers, and they were a little too gallivant with what they were doing. So yeah, I told them, I'm like, you know what? I wasn't going to tell you this, but 4 years ago, freaking dead adult washed up on our shores on a weekend just like this.
On a weekend just like this.
Just like 100% just like this. He looked like me. He was an adult that could swim and just didn't. And don't do the same thing as I did.
No, almost getting sucked to Europe because this was a lake. But, Charlie Day swims to Europe. That's for sure.
Well, technically, I think the Great Lakes are connected to the ocean, because I did try to scare my kids by saying there was sharks in it, and then brought up a map and showed them how a shark could theoretically get into Lake Erie.
All right, well, let's get into it today. So our main topic today, we are going to talk about what was the talk of the town last week, specifically the mid last week, which was a new AI-powered device called Friend. So we're going to be talking about that shortly. Chamber, you evoked a response on Twitter already from the founder, Avi. So I'm not sure if he's listening.
Did I? right before the show.
You tagged him and he said he was watching. So
All right.
we'll have to do friend the explanation justice. Should we talk friend first, or should we talk our own AI friends first? Where do you want to start?
Let's talk
today?
friend first, because our new friend is watching, and I want to do justice to the
Okay,
this wonderful technology.
Okay, so we've got let's call this part of our artificial unintelligence segment today as we clunk around the world of AI for you all. Hit the drop.
Feeling dumb, want some fun, time for some artificial unintelligence.
All right. So today's topic of the day is friend. So Chamber, what you actually hit me up about doing this as a main topic of the show. So what about this did you see that you were like, oh, we need to talk about this? Because I've got lots of thoughts on it, and but I'm interested. This was a topic you brought to me to chat about. So I'm interested in what you think is super interesting about this.
I am a sucker for marketing. Good marketing, you give me good marketing, I'm going to buy whatever you're selling. And I saw the ad. I think there was only the one ad, like the little mini movie.
We could show that too.
Can we play it? Can we play it?
Yes. So
let's bring that up, because this is what got me.
Let's go. Okay, let's go with the YouTube video first, which was like their trailer, and we can watch this together. And first, should we define what it is, or should we just watch the trailer?
Let's watch the trailer and see if people can kind of parse together what this is. Like, does the marketing does it pique your interest, but does it also because sometimes it just piques your interest and you don't know what the product is, but does it pique your interest and explain to you what the product is? And we'll see what happens. All
right, let's go. This comes from the official Friend YouTube channel that has 1.45K subscribers, so growing already. Here we go. Can you hear that?
Gosh, I'm out of breath. We made it. Woo! I don't know how to woo very good. That's fair. All right, let's go.
Let me show you how to game, bro, okay? Oh, come on. Oh, let's go!
Are you serious? Come on, man. I hate this game.
Take notes, baby. Oh, man, you guys suck, bro. You look like the back.
Let's go.
Dude, what? How did you do that?
I know the effects are crazy. It's dank. I could eat one of these every day.
Dank.
Sorry, I got you messy.
It's really nice up here. How'd you find this place?
I don't know. I just kind of like to come up here to be by myself. I've never brought anybody else. I mean, besides her.
She goes everywhere with you, right?
Mm-hmm.
Guess I must be doing something right then.
I guess so. We'll see.
All right, that is the ad for Friend. So
I think it does it.
Chamber, you got to tell me. So tell me what it is first of all.
So it's a wearable AI device that is listening to you and can basically carry on conversations. What it seems like to me is the kind of entry level to like the movie Her, with like Scarlett Johansson and I think Joaquin Phoenix. This is like the first version of that. That's what I got from it. Am I far off there?
No, I think you're spot on. So I would describe this as a kind of pendant, right? It's a wearable device that you wear around your neck, and it is
Like a medic alert
yeah,
necklace.
almost, right? It's like a pendant. It's got kind of this, sleek design.
Yeah,
It was
definitely cooler
founded,
looking.
yeah, it founded by a gentleman named Avi Schiffmann, who we'll talk about in a little bit.
Friend of the show, obviously.
Yeah, of course. Now, yes, friend of the show, right? So you wear this around your neck, and it is positioned as kind of an AI companion, if you will. So what I think is interesting about this, right? So, like, let's just go through some of the statistics here about this. So, we've got this was founded and developed by Avi Schiffmann, and he had actually previously gained some recognition for creating a COVID tracking website.
That's right.
So
I read that.
yes, so he's come from that world, and he built a COVID tracking website. And so just a little more about Avi. I believe he's about 21 or 22 years old. I believe he dropped out of Harvard and left to pursue kind of entrepreneurial ventures. And he had that COVID-19 tracking website during the pandemic, which helped people kind of stay informed. And he'd been involved in various tech projects along the way. And in 2022, he founded Friend, which was an AI company dedicated to developing wearable AI companion devices designed to provide emotional support and companionship. So this thing wears, you wear it around your neck, and it's a $99 AI powered necklace. It listens to the wearer and sends conversational text messages based on what it hears. And it's aiming to kind of combat loneliness or promote companionship and things like that. It was launched for pre-order on July 30th via that ad we just saw, which was really interesting. It is expected to ship by January 2025, and we'll talk about kind of the mixed reactions to it in a little bit. But that's kind of the TLDR about what it is and how it works. So, what I think is interesting about this is there have been launches already in this AI wearable space.
Yeah, like I remember, what was the one a couple months back where it was like a clip? I want to say it was like a clip. It was a little bit of a bulkier item, I think.
Yes, the Humane AI pin is what you're thinking about, and that launched in late 2023, and that launched with, I would say, pretty significant criticism, and the reviews kind of highlighted issues such as slow response, incorrect answers, bad battery life, but it aimed to function as kind of like this standalone AI assistant with like gesture-based controls, like a projector interface and things like that. It definitely struggled to deliver on that promise from what I've read on reviews and heard feedback on. And ultimately, I think a lot of people had concerns about privacy and things of that nature. I think that's one thing that, these startups will all have to face because, you're giving people something that...
I never understand the privacy complaint.
Well, we could get into that in a little bit because I am kind of with you, but so we'll get into that in a bit because that's definitely a concern on most of these types of devices, right? So the other kind of physical hardware thing that we saw launch and kind of crash and burn. So we had Humane AI pin. I would call a pretty big flop.
Okay, because I haven't heard about it since.
Yeah, I would say it's a flop. And the other one, less of a wearable, but more of a physical device, which was the Rabbit R1. Do you remember seeing this?
I don't remember that.
So the Rabbit R1 was kind of like that. It was like this red thing you could hold in your hand, and they they pitched it as like a new way they called it a large action model instead of large language model. The idea was it was going to be able to basically act as an agent and do things for you and things of that nature. And totally
Isn't Rabbit the name of like the #1 vibrator in the world, by the way?
yeah, you just
Yeah.
keep this and your other rabbit
is it
in
the
your
same
pocket.
is it the same company just
No,
branching
I
out
don't
to
believe
AI?
I don't believe so.
Because when you were describing it, I'm like, oh, that just sounds like the vibrator that's in my wife's nightstand. She may
Yeah.
have an AI device. I just might be confused on my end. She may have this.
Well, that's AI assisted for her pleasure, clearly.
That's right. That's right.
So yeah, the Rabbit R1 also, I would say, a huge flop. This thing, it was designed to be a standalone AI device that could control like existing computer service interfaces without having your screen. So like they did demos of it doing ordering your groceries like everybody does in these demos. The concept was interesting, but they you needed to have another device. It was basically things you could all do now with your phone or computer. So bad reception on that one as well. A lot of people, I saw so many like returns go in, but that was launched at like CES or something. And like the first 3 or 4 rounds of pre-orders immediately sold out when they did the demo. And then apparently they shipped something that just totally sucked. It's basically a paperweight at this point. And so those are kind of like 2 examples of what I would call failed AI wearable devices so far. Then you've got kind of AI enhanced wearable devices that are a little different, right? Like you've got this set of wearables that has AI or uses AI, but are not like touted as AI devices or specific assistant type of things. So like when I'm talking about things like the Whoop, you know what the Whoop is?
No.
So Whoop is like the bracelet that measures your biometric sensors and gives you insights into your health metrics like sleep and recovery and all that. Yeah, Cap is a former Whoop user. Yeah.
Oh, is he? Like I feel like the Apple Watch does that.
Yes, and that's part of why Cap is no longer a Whoop user. It's now the Apple Watch does a lot of those same things.
What was the one before that? There was like another one that was like everybody.
Well, there's the Fitbit, was the Fitbit, the Whoop, and then the newest one is kind of the Smart Ring. So the Aura Smart Ring and similar functionality.
Is that put out by Rabbit as well?
Yeah, that's it. It's the Rabbit's for her and the ring is for you.
Right. Okay.
Get it?
I got it.
Okay, so those are kind of like some failed ones and some successful ones. You can see with like the successful ones, they're not positioning themselves yet as like these assistant things, right? They just use the AI piece to enhance current data, right? Like they're not trying to do, I don't think, anything super revolutionary, but the ones that have so far failed. And I think this is different. I think Friend is, while like there, we could talk about how dystopian that whole thing, the ad may seem. I think this has a chance to succeed because the focus and the positioning of the product is completely 360 or 180 the other way, right? So like, I think what's interesting here is the focus and I
feel like it's very specific to one portion of what those other things were trying to do. Do you know what I mean? Like the end result of this is, this is a companion.
Correct.
Nothing else. Nothing else. So, this is a companion.
Right. Exactly. So like the other ones that are trying to be an assistant that'll book your flight or give you health monitoring, this is designed to provide emotional support and companionship, and it listens to your conversation and sends conversational text messages based on what it hears, which is really kind of to combat this feeling of loneliness, right? So it's to be your friend, to be a companion, right? It's really interesting. You like this idea?
I need one of these in my life.
Okay, so let's dive into that, because I've seen some really mixed reactions on this, and I feel like I'm leaning a little more towards where you're leaning. And
Yeah.
but it actually really surprises me that you're into this,
Oh,
actually.
listen. Adult male loneliness is a real thing.
Yes, I tweeted about this last week, by the way.
Oh, really? Yeah, it's
Remember,
a
yeah,
real
you
thing.
remember the you liked it. It was
Oh, I
the
did?
Spotify one where I was listening to new music and I'm looking for people to in my life to like share the link with, and I realized I had no one.
Nobody. Yeah, it's a real thing. So I could see. I mean, the people that are complaining are probably just young people that have friends.
Yeah, right, right.
Is
People
really
that
what it is.
actually have friends.
There's a lot of us that don't have friends.
No,
Especially like I would say like guys like us, or people like us that when you have a family, when you're married, you have kids, there's no friends in your life. Like you're not hanging out with anybody. There's not somebody, it's not like having roommates where you're just sitting on the couch and you're shooting the shit and they're giving you feedback on whatever, on whatever topics you're discussing. There's nobody. I sit by myself in my office most of the time and I talk to myself and nobody answers. If I had a text message that, was giving me, encouraging feedback or just participating in a conversation with me. Are you kidding me? I'm loving it. I'm loving it.
Bing.
Yeah.
Dude, you are so high right now.
I sure am. Right. 100%. 100%. Like I would try to figure out if it's actually reading my mind. Like, and that's the other thing too. When I do get way too high, I'm very in my head. And then sometimes,
me too. It's like crazy.
It's a real deal. So again, I like the idea that it's very specific to one aspect of what AI can do. I think the people that don't like it, don't buy it, I guess. And the people that do like it, but maybe purchase one. And for $99, and it doesn't sound like there's any subscription package to buy. It's just $99 and it works. There's a setup process. I'm assuming you got to set up the your phone number in it because I think that's the only way it communicates, right? Is via text message.
Mm-hmm. I believe so.
Which I think is also another really interesting part of it. Like if it was just responding in audio, you would look like a lunatic. Like,
Correct.
oh, you know what I'm saying? Like if Scarlett Johansson was talking to me, like out in public, but you get, maybe you have an earbud in, or you just get a text message on your phone, and it's like having somebody that's invisible beside you that's witnessing everything around you, but you can have these private I like it. I can see this doing okay.
Yeah, I think it's super interesting in that regard, right? Because I sometimes have the same problem, and I have group text messages with friends, right? But like that doesn't always have the context of my life, right? And what is
Correct.
important to me at that current time. Like in a group chat, you're just randomly jumping into a bunch of, most of the time nonsense mid conversation or whatever. And it's not as personal. And I agree with you in terms of like how my life is and your life is, and where like I don't hang out with a lot of friends. My friends live all over the place. I don't get to be and stay connected with them in that way all the time. And the other thing too is it's like this is potentially on demand, right? Like it almost is like it's going to do it when you need it,
Right.
and
Exactly.
which I think is interesting. Before we get deeper, I did want to just jump into what the difference is here on the privacy and security side than others. So these guys emphasize that it's secure and private because they do not store any of the audio recordings, and they ensure that all the data is encrypted and processed in the cloud. So this addresses some of those concerns that other wearables didn't.
But don't worry, your phone is 100% doing that for you.
Well, I think it's okay. So here's my question back to you. It's not about you, right? So like, what if you're wearing this thing out and you have a conversation with somebody at the store, and it's listening to that person without their consent? What are your thoughts then?
But your phone is doing the exact same thing. Your phone is doing
Yeah,
that.
no, I get it. I agree.
Yeah,
My
does
data's
everybody
all
have a
over the place
phone? Like,
anyway. My
you have an
data's all
iPhone,
over
you have
the
a
place
Samsung phone, it's
anyway.
doing that, you know.
Yes.
So
Yeah.
I just, if you're a human interacting in society, you're done. There's no escaping it. I know. I saw ZG post in the comments about, just ring light camera. You can't walk around your neighborhood without being on 1,000 cameras. And you're 100% correct. Like, it's just what it is. If you want to exist in society, unfortunately, everything is being recorded. There's no getting away from anything, and it is what it is. Is it a bad thing? I don't know. It's not ideal, but you're getting a lot of benefits, to give up that, that one aspect of your life. So it depends
I
on
agree.
how you weigh that out.
This is coming from two guys that just cloned themselves. So
Yeah, my wife was not happy about that.
we'll talk about that in a minute. But well, I can't wait to hear all about this because I'm shocked. So anyway, so I think you're spot on with why this is interesting. I think we're not even considering some more in need demographics that might benefit from this, right? So like
Such as
elderly.
I like it. I think
Right?
it does. I think it could replace, I was joking about it earlier, but the medical alert bracelet. Like,
Totally.
I mean, I'm sure there's an aspect of that could be, included in the friend wearable. You know what I mean?
Totally. I mean, just think about like loneliness in the elderly population is like a real problem.
I
Like,
mean,
it's
I
a
don't like
real
to
problem.
talk to them, so I would imagine.
Yeah, right. Exactly. So if you're not talking to them and I'm not talking to them and Payne ain't talking to them,
Nobody's talking to him.
No, Payne's not.
Payne's loving it.
He doesn't even like time for. He doesn't like talking to us. He just sits back there the whole time. He doesn't talk to anybody. He needs a friend to just ping him right now.
Yeah.
You know what? Ping him
Isn't
in the
this show
chat.
terrible?
Ping him in the chat. Tell him we love him. All right. So just do him a favor. But the elderly, definitely one area that I think could be hugely assisted by devices like this and AI in general. There's a huge loneliness companionship problem with that population. I think people who are, actually clinically diagnosed with depression or anxiety or even stuff like ADHD, maybe it reminds me of shit in the future, right?
For
Like
sure.
all of those things are, I think, potential real use cases for this kind of thing that are important. And I think that AI will bring a lot of value to in the future. And I mean, I guess it's here now, right?
Yeah.
So I'm for this type of technology. I get the mixed reactions though. So let's talk about kind of what the positive and negative feedback has been. So, positive feedback we're kind of covering, right? So some people and experts appreciate the device for the potential to kind of provide that emotional support, companionship, especially for lonely people, which we've kind of covered. And that it's innovative, right? The concept of an AI companion that listens and responds based on real-time interaction is definitely an innovative thing, right? It's designed to be, functional, and it's got some of, I think the negative feedback is that obviously people have problems with privacy concerns, being recorded, always listening, etc. That analyzes everything you say is somewhat unsettling to people. I get, I think another set of people, and I've seen this from even folks in kind of the Web3-ish community who you would kind of label as being innovative and open-minded, forward-thinking, tech focused. I saw a lot of creepy and invasive, right? Like Black Mirror episode, dystopian. What's your thought on that?
I mean, Black Mirror, for the record, is just a few storylines away from being really fun Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah,
a
yeah.
lot of it,
They only show the bad versions. of
right?
it,
Like, there's good versions of those stories.
I mean, give me
My-
more of the pig fucking. You know.
I mean, yeah, what a show. Can we talk about Black Mirror for a second? Because season 1, episode 1, if you recommend
That's the
this show,
one.
that
That's
is
the one.
That is the one. And it is what a swing. What a swing. Good for Black Mirror. But my favorite episode of Black Mirror is and you may feel the same way, but the one where they have the contacts that record everything that happens during the day. And early in the episode, I don't know if it's a boyfriend and girlfriend or husband and wife, they're having an argument, and the one plays, they're having an argument about something, and then the guy or the girl basically projects the conversation that happened earlier in the day. And I forget who was right, but one of them was right.
This is how you want to use AI.
Oh my God. Do I ever want that? I saw that. I'm like, it's a great story. I forget what else happens in that show, but the big takeaway for me was having the ability to prove myself right in real time in 4K to my wife, or, and not as ideally have it used against me. Because it would also happen.
But look,
you win some, you lose some.
Got to increase your hit rate on being
That's
right.
But that to me, so yes, Black Mirror, but there's some good parts to Black Mirror. If the writing didn't take it in a dark way,
I know a little. Another critique of this was that it's not real friendship. And I think that's kind of missing the point.
What's real friendship? All your friends don't even fucking like you, okay? Let's be honest. All you 20-somethings out there, you're not real friends, okay? There's very rarely are you going to find real friends out there. So don't judge the robot telling me it's not actual camaraderie.
Hey, if it makes you feel that feeling, if it's that
That's right.
dopamine hit you're looking for, that's keeping you moving, then it's the thing, right? Like
that is the thing.
Then so that's kind of that's the device, that's what it does, those are the pros and cons, that's what people are saying about it. We didn't even touch on, I think, maybe the wildest parts of this story.
What is yeah, there's wilder parts.
So there are two, I think, more interesting parts even than just what the device is and does. And these are kind of, the fun drama parts of this. Okay, the first is there was a diss track.
You mentioned this to me prior to the show starting. I was not aware of this.
So you didn't know about the diss track?
I did not know there was a diss track. I love a good diss track. I got sucked into the Kendrick, Drake goings on that happened in May, and I was all consumed by it. So yes, diss tracks, I'm all for them.
Okay, so we're gonna play the diss track because I'm not sure. I'm not sure this is actually good diss track, but
it's not Kendrick Lamar level diss track. Is that what you're telling me?
Yeah, no, it is not a Kendrick Lamar level diss track. Hold on, that's not the right thing. We're going to twitter.com here or x.com, and we're gonna play the diss track. So the backstory here is on the day of the release, a developer named Nick Shevchenko released a diss track aimed at Avi and somewhat accused him of basically stealing his idea for the AI necklace. And then Schiffmann later responded. He denied any wrongdoing, stating he has no relation to the guy and that his product's distinct. And he emphasized that the necklace is designed to be a companion rather than a productivity tool, which I think is fair. But the diss track has obviously generated significant attention and mixed reactions. But I think it's fun, so we're gonna show it anyway. So all right, throw it up on the screen, Chamber.
I'm Nick, and for those who don't know, I built Friend. Renamed your tab, jacked my style, built nothing real. It's been a while. Investor cash, you burn it quick. I'm grinding hard, tracks in my peak. Some big game, where is the proof? All your gonna squeeze, no roof. I'm the founder, hardware in hand. User Shishido can't understand. I be your jokes, spend a meal on a name. Can ship a thing, just Twitter fame. Friend and yours running my way. Spam, digging your grave. Take a seat, I've learned the grind. You're wasting cash, I'm building in time. Force. Yo, I'm Nick.
What did you think of that?
And they not like us. They not like us. That was very rough.
Okay, so that was the diss track.
That was rough.
I don't know if you saw. It has 1.2 million views.
Unbelievable.
So it made the rounds.
Unbelievable. And my absolute AI bangers get 100 listens. Like it's where's the justice?
You gotta get on this level.
I guess I gotta make my own diss tracks.
Should we start making? I got a great idea. Should we have our AIs make diss tracks about each other?
I think so. I think that.
Oh hell yes, we're definitely gonna do that.
That'll be very fun. I bet you it'll be better. I mean,
Yeah,
just based on what I heard there, that was very terrible.
I don't know if they could follow a beat like that guy.
I would possibly could happen.
I mean, it can't be any worse than that.
It can't be worse. Like that was
so that was the diss track, which I thought was really funny. But the segue in there is there's a line specifically in the diss track that says "spent $1 million on a name." Now, are you familiar with? Are you familiar with
part
what that was referring to?
Yes, I believe is Avi, right? Avi.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
I believe Avi spent 1.8 million on the friend.com domain.
Yes. So Avi bought friend.com for $1.8 million, which, you know, say what you want about buying or the price of the domain, but I think what's even crazier or more interesting, right, is that the company raised is their venture-backed funded company, and it has some notable investors. Let's see, hold on. Some of the investors included the Perplexity CEO Aravind Srinivas, and
you've been getting some names today.
And the Solana founders, Anatoly and Raj. How about that?
All right. Okay.
So that's according to some.
See, I think that's the move. They got to add some bonk to this thing.
Totally.
Or some whiff.
Friend to earn.
Yeah, I like it. But yeah, this is. I mean, whatever. I don't think that's. I mean, it's $1.8 million.
Okay, wait. So they raised money here.
Mm-hmm.
It's $1.8 million. They're valued currently at the time of this was a $50 million valuation. So they raised 2.5, or they raised money at a $50 million valuation. They raised $2.5 million.
So they half on the domain.
Almost, yeah, like 70%.
Yeah. I mean, I'm probably not.
Okay, so that's where the controversy lies, right? So the crazy mixed reaction of this part of it, the purchase of the domain, is not that they bought it for $1.8 million, because quite honestly, I think that probably cheap, right? Like in terms of friend.com as a domain is probably worth far more than that, I would think, right?
I would agree with that. Yes.
Okay, so I think the outrage came not from the price, but because they spent 1.8 out of the 2.5 that they raised.
So I would say, in defense of my new best friend, Avi.
Well, hey, here's the thing though, Chamber. Don't get too far down that road, because Avi's not going to be your friend, but he's going to send you one in the mail.
Yeah, and I'm going to name it Avi. Okay.
Yeah.
And it's going to text me as Avi.
Yeah, maybe. Hey, you know what? Send this show to Avi after. Maybe he'll send us a couple friends.
That'd be great.
I think our overall assessment here is quite positive.
I mean, you're not going to find two people more interested,
lonely.
Like, this is your target demographic right here.
It actually is. because we're not old people either, you know.
No, not that
We're
old. Just olding. What was I saying?
By the way, this show is sponsored by BetterHelp. BetterHelp.com is
Somebody better help me. But no, I do think, I don't know. In Avi's defense, that's what I was saying. Having pre-orders, because what do you need the funds for? So you raise 2.5 million, you
development and marketing and team,
marketing.
and that's it. Yeah.
So, but you also do a pre-order where you're getting, I don't know how many they sold, but say they sold, I don't know, you're making money by holding the pre-order funds. Whether, like I said, you sell, I don't know, I don't even know what, like 100,000 of these things. Is that too many in a pre-order?
Here, a quick search says, I don't know when this article was, but it says, as of now, the Friend AI wearable device has sold approximately 10,000 units in pre-order. The pre-order period began obviously on the 30th and is priced at $99. So you can do
that's $1 million right there.
Right. So he's got $1 million of it back in pre-orders.
Right. So I don't know. Like, what does it cost you to make the little? I thought honestly the commercial was AI for a second. I don't think it is now, but when I first watched it, I'm like, oh, is this like an AI created, trailer? But I actually think it's a real trailer. But yeah, so I mean,
no, it's definitely real.
Yeah. So I mean, besides that, I mean, I don't know. I just don't know what the expenses are, and having pre-sales really offsets a lot of the expenses. So I don't know.
Yeah. So, the mixed reaction here is obviously, I don't think the price of the domain, the positive reactions, and the one that I feel is that, I mean, this has the domain name is obviously super premium, right? It's a one-word.com that explains exactly what his product is supposed to do.
Right.
That is in and of itself very, you talk about domain trust or brand trust, and like you immediately have a sense of trust with anything going to friend.com, right? Like that
I don't know how, like,
it's
capital.
not, I mean, how does getfriend.ai make you feel versus friend.com?
Night and day, right? Like, it's completely different. And I don't even know, like, when it comes to these things, how much, like, specifically with like raising funds, how long between, can they not just make another round of funding a week from now?
Of course they could.
Based on
of course you could go
the
raise money.
popularity. Like, I feel like just buying the domain, you're in the news now. You're the AI company that bought friend.com for $1.8 million. I do think a valuation of $50 million is pretty reasonable, considering this is a big tech, product. And if it works, I mean, this could be $1 billion company. You know what I mean? So I don't know. I just think there's other rounds of funding that could happen based on the positive, or not even positive, but just on how big the marketing was, and not even what they did, but just the marketing of buying the domain name and the news cycle that caused. You know what I mean?
100%. That's where I was going with this. The brand awareness and word of mouth and just marketing value of the move alone has to be worth 3 or 4 times.
You don't get a mid-mic crisis exclusive.
Right. That's right.
With getfriend.ai is all I'm saying.
That's very right. Yes. I mean, so some of the criticism, obviously, how much of the funding he spent. I think there was some mockery as well, because I thought I saw that the purchase was made on a payment plan, which is,
what, the $99?
No, or the 1.8 million.
I feel that's reasonable.
I agree. I don't want to pay that all right now.
No,
right?
Yeah, absolutely.
But so I'm pro the $1.8 million friend.com purchase as well, because I think I think if you think about like if this tech actually takes off and this is the way we interact with things in the future, like this is a invaluable domain name, right? Like it is
Absolutely.
it's going to be a thing. So that is kind of the the last piece of this was buying the domain for that price, and that it was out of 2.5 total $1 million raised, right? So, but you're right. Like they could go now say, hey, I've got 10,000 pre-orders. We need X more funding. And the response has been X, Y, and Z. And now all of a sudden you've got incredible.
They email them a link to our YouTube.
Hey, watch this.
No big deal.
Yes.
$1 billion valuation.
Yes. So I'm on friend.com here. So this is the homepage here. If you, and I wonder what this video does, if it's any different. No, it's the same. Okay. So this video here in the corner goes to that same YouTube video we had. This is it for the landing page. It's just friend.com with the little text message. It says friend, not imaginary. It's got a blog here. And then the product and a link to pre-order. So here's how it works. So you can talk to it. So it's got this kind of action button right here.
Mm-hmm.
And because it's listening, you can either speak to it or talk to it about context that it just may have overheard, right? So it says gossip about what your friend overheard. And then you pause, right? Your friend's going to think and come up with something good to say. And then it texts you, right? So I kind of like that it doesn't just talk right back to you. Do you like that as well, right?
Yeah, I agree. I think text message is better. It's more private. Yeah, I like it. And honestly, it makes it more personable. Like you can have your voice be, you can have the voice be absolutely human. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like undetectable. But you would know, like, but in my opinion, getting a text message is more, I don't know, it's more real. You know what I mean? Like as opposed to knowing the voice is fake. As good as the voice is, getting that text message feels like it's more of a conversation for whatever reason.
What do you think of the design? This is what it looks like.
It's fine. I could take it or leave it. I'm not a necklace. I don't think the necklace is the real big pull for me. I don't like the idea of, carrying around the neck, this, I don't know. To me, there's a better way.
You need something, right?
You do need something. That's why I thought the pin would be good. Like something you just put in your shirt or, you know what I mean? But maybe technology wise, we're not there yet.
Yeah, so here's the FAQ. Like you said, $99, no subscription. All right, cool. What's in the box? Your order includes your white friend device, 2 gray lanyards, and a white case. USB
your white friend device?
Yeah,
it's a white friend. It's it can't be a Hawaiian friend. It can't be
other ethnicities of friends.
Absolutely, yeah. It's a white friend.
Q2 of 2025 is when they release the other.
That's when you get the other ethnicity options.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. That's the real takeaway. Only white friends are being shipped.
Only white friends, but the great thing is in Q1 of 2025, you can order the black friend. So then, Chamber, you can walk around saying at least you have one black friend.
That's true. White friend, arguably the worst friend.
Yes, right. The white friends are the worst friends, definitely. In fact, they're so bad we don't even have any.
Yeah, right? Exactly. We've really got rid of them from our day to day.
Okay, so when will you receive? Yeah, Q1 2025. Oh, they're coming to only not United States and Canada. Sorry, our UK friends. Yeah. What is always listening? When connected via Bluetooth, your friend is always listening and forming their own internal thoughts. We've given your friend free will for when they decide to reach out to you. Interesting. Do I need a phone? Yes.
So it has free will on when it's going to respond.
No, I don't think that's what it means. I think it means that basically it's saying it's always listening, so it has the context so that it can when you ask it to respond, I believe. I don't know, maybe not, because in that YouTube video, like when the dude was gaming, didn't it just automatically send him something?
Yeah, I think so.
So maybe there's a setting on how frequently or infrequently, I'm not sure. What phone do I need to use a friend? Only on iOS. Okay, so Android in the future. What happens when I break the device? Your friend and their memories are attached to the physical device. If you lose or damage your friend, there's no recovery plan.
You really got to
That's
take care of your
interesting.
friend.
You got to take care of your friend. It's like a real life fucking Tamagotchi, my man.
Ooh, that's
Yeah.
rough.
Oh my goodness. How is my privacy protected? We saw that. And how can I contact you? All right, there you go. That is friend. Overall, Chamber, what are you're giving friend on a scale of 1 to 10? How likely are you to, 1, use this thing, and 2, how likely are you to buy it?
Once Avi sends me my own white
I
friend.
I very much hope you send this show to him afterwards, and you request 3 friends, 1 for me, 1 for you, 1 for Payne.
Yes, that's what we need. I don't see why we wouldn't get one. This was a very pro friend show.
And while you're at it, ask if he would like to buy midmiccrisis.com or dgen.network
for
or bunchu.eth, whatever.
It's all on the
for sale.
table.
All for
It's all
sale,
on the
yeah.
table. No, I think I'm like an 8 out of 10 on this. I think for
All
me,
right.
the only
Wow, I'm like shocked that I thought you were going to be in Team Black Mirror dystopia camp.
No, I've grown to accept the reality we live in. No, the only kind of downside for me is just the necklace part of it. I don't like the necklace. I wish it was something else. But
what's
I think
what's your ideal vessel for a wearable like this? Obviously, other than a Hawaiian shirt that
like a shirt, like a Hawaiian.
Yours would be a Tommy Bahama that listens to you at a little microphone in your collar.
Right. But I do think a pin I would like a little bit more.
How about some
or a watch?
Cufflinks?
Yeah, like a cufflink. A watch would be great too.
All right.
So yeah, I think I think just this medical alert bracelet thing or medical alert button thing, I just don't like as much as.
I get it. Yeah. All right, fair enough. All right, I'm actually shocked that you are such a high. I'm happy you are, because it tells me that you are.
I'm involved in AI now, buddy. I don't know.
Yeah, you are. You sure are.
I'm 10 toes in.
We've gotten you there. All right, we've got a couple minutes left. We've got some show news that we could talk about. We've got this trailer that you wanted to show.
No, don't worry about the trailer. The trailer is always it's. Listen,
that was in case we had more time.
Whenever you guys see the trailer, it means we ran out of stuff to talk about.
I like that's like a running gag now. That if the trailer ever makes an appearance on this show,
we ran out.
We did not plan anything, and we've run out of time. Yeah,
I think we should bring up Payne. Because I would like his input on
the next portion here.
On the next portion, yeah. So we'll do like 4 minutes of Payne or 7.
Yeah, we'll do like 7 minutes of Payne.
Yeah,
that's hot.
All right, ready?
Yeah,
he's not looking for any fame. It's too late to hide. Time for 1 minute of pain. 1 minute of pain.
The people have spoken. Oh, you suck. The people have spoken, and they have requested at least 5x more Payne. And so we're bringing it to you today with 5 minutes of Payne. Payne, GM, how are you? What do you think? Let's start with the questions we just had from our main topic today. What do you think of the friend device?
I thought that was pretty interesting. I could get where people would say it's a little bit eerie. The biggest takeaway though is I need to spend more time with you all, because
so lonely. These guys are really on the edge.
Yeah. So I guess I'm gonna have to be making phone calls every week.
How you doing, man?
No, we don't even need phone calls, just a text. That's it. Just a text every once in a while, that says, "Hey, did you prepare for the show today?" Oh shit.
Yeah. In fairness, that would require your numbers, which I do not have.
Yeah, well, we should change that. That can't be right. Yeah, we need to have Payne on call.
Yeah,
pay
you all
me
I
text
feel like
each other,
I
but-
feel like
Yeah,
I do have. Do I not have your phone number? I feel like I have to check. my
No,
phone.
no, you don't.
No,
The time
you
we
wrote
wrote
met
it
up,
down on you wrote it down on that Cracker Barrel napkin and then threw it out
you
on the way out.
communicated strictly through Discord. So that was the only way we were going to meet up.
That's actually hilarious. Okay, so so are you? Where do you land on this? Is this something you would use personally or no?
Well, if they're only going to have a white version, then no, I feel very disrespected. So, but whenever the other one comes out, then yeah, I'll probably. No, I don't know that I would ever really use.
You want
it.
a Filipino friend or like it could be anybody. But I like the idea of maybe like a Danish friend. I think would be fun. Somebody from
But like, are you then kind of required to collect them all? Otherwise, you're totally
yeah. I
racist.
mean, there's a
Yeah.
lot of countries out there.
Yeah.
And a lot of different ethnicities.
Maybe this is part of why they don't charge a subscription, because he knows you now need to buy all 180 different types of friends. But okay, so we've got that from Payne. Payne is pro friend as a tech, probably wouldn't wear it himself because he's just swimming in friends.
Yeah.
And
Payne does seem like a friend guy.
all right. And now we've got the next portion of our show, which proves we have no friends, which is we have created a daily version of the show. So you may have heard us talk about in the last couple of weeks, the Firebrain project that I'd been working on, the new podcast that was a daily AI news podcast that I'm putting out on my Firebrain AI channel. That is all AI driven. So I've built this entire workflow that does the research portion, the scripting, the voices, the editing, and publishing. So I've been doing that. I think I've put out about 20 episodes. It's going really well. It's actually a pretty cool case study. It's gotten me a lot of interest in how I've done it and things like that. So very cool. But we wanted to see if we could push the envelope. Everyone knows now that we could do AI with a single voice. We wanted to see if we could make a bite-sized version of this podcast, which is, I would say, hard to do, right? We have a very particular style. We have a particular banter. We have a particular, I don't know, conversational way that we approach describing topics, and it's a lot of jokes and nuance and all that stuff. And so we tried to do this, and the entire point of what we're going to be putting out daily is it's going to take one news story or item from the hot topics in either AI or Web3, and today was both. And it's going to give you a 5 to 7 minute bite-sized conversation between AI Bunchu and AI Chamber, and it is called the Mid-Mic Daily Bite. And we're going to play a little bit for you now. Specifically, we're going to play a little bit for Payne. I already know one piece of Payne's feedback, and I agree with it. I very much agree with it, and I have a potential solution as well. Oh, there you go. Horse stuff starting in 5 minutes. You better get out of here. You can't make this shit up. You just cannot make it up. You can't make it up. Actually, that was your friend reminding you to get on the horse. Okay. So first, I want to start, Chamber, from the beginning, because you made a new wonderful jingle for this.
You need a new song if you're doing a new segment. So here it is.
It's the Mid-Mic Daily Bite. It's the Mid-Mic Daily Bite. It's the Mid-Mic Daily Bite. It's the Mid-Mic Daily Bite.
Hello and welcome to the Mid-Mic Crisis. I am Bunchu, alongside my esteemed colleague and co-host, Chamber. Chamber, how you doing, buddy? Looking particularly Sasquatchy today.
I'll have you know, this is my new Bigfoot chic look. It's all the rage in the crypto forests. Speaking of rage, ready to dive into today's Web3 shakeup?
Absolutely. We've got some wild news in the AI and Web3 space. AI-powered dApps have just dethroned gaming apps in the Web3
part gets
good, I think. Isn't that wild?
Wait, what? AI beating gaming? Break it down for me, Bunch.
Well, AI dApps now dominate 28% of the Web3 market. It's the first time in over a year that they've overtaken gaming apps. This is pretty game-changing stuff.
Hold up. 1 second. What do you think so far, Payne?
So I'll tell you what I told Bunch. The only part I don't like is the intro outro, because it doesn't bring that same the voice inflection.
I see what you're saying.
Yeah,
I see
but
what you're saying.
we talked about a solution with that. So
Well,
other than that,
I think the solution is the same solution we had with the jingle, right? So new thing, new jingle. I think we need a new intro and a
I
new
agree.
outro specifically for the Daily Bite.
I think that's the right move.
That'll
because
solve it.
I think it does say "Welcome to Mid-Mic Crisis" at the start, but if we change it to Mid-Mic Daily Bite, I think that would be
Yeah, and give it a little different intro so that it's not the same thing you're expecting to hear, right? Like, I think that's the thing. When you're expecting something that is repeated a bunch of times or you've heard a million times, that's where it kind of there's some glaring differences there, right?
Yeah. So let me just see. I'll play a little portion here. 1 second.
Well, Chamber, considering your shirt game, your mom might not be too far off. But yes, this could make Web3 more accessible to the average person.
Hey, don't knock the shirts. They're part of my brand. But I get it. AI making Web3 more user-friendly. It's like when I finally figured out how to use a smartphone.
That's actually a good comparison. Just as smartphones made the internet more accessible, AI could do the same for Web3. It's lowering the barrier to entry.
But unbelievable. This is
okay. So, Payne, next question. How do you feel like we did with the conversational flow of this? So just for those listening at home, this script was created all by AI. We did not write this in terms of we didn't edit any of the flow of it. We didn't. So like I had to go through and really try hard to build a prompt that would mimic a conversation with like interruptions, with our ums and ahs, our kind of back and forth specific things that we do. And I think it came out pretty good. The first version of this was really rough. It was like 10-second blocks of each of us talking, and that really didn't feel right. This is like an actual conversation flow.
Yeah, I completely agree. I actually hadn't listened to this episode today, so I'm getting the raw version, and it's tenfold better for sure. Like you said, the interruptions, the little nuances, even I feel like it got Chambers' voice even better than before. So
yes, so Chambers' voice, that's where we'll end the show today. So the first iteration, we didn't do Chambers' voice in the professional 11 Labs way. So
Right.
over the weekend, he completed the 11 Labs Pro voice, and I was blown away. So it's funny, like when I hear my own voice, I'm like, wow, that's really good. But it doesn't spook me at all. It was when I heard Chambers' voice done that way, that was like a little bit spooky to me. I was like, oh, wow, that is exactly what he sounds like.
It's
I
wild.
can't
It's
even-
crazy. My wife doesn't like it at all.
So why does she not like it? Because that's where I want to end.
Because she's just an old person. We're the same age, but she's old. And she's not cool and hip and cutting edge like me.
What if
so
you got it to send her like funny love messages every day?
Maybe she would get around on it, but we'll see.
Yeah.
She was not. She's like, this is way too creepy.
But it's good. Did she agree it sounded
Well,
exactly like you?
That it did. Well, I think that's why she didn't like it, because it was way too close. I said, really, the big takeaway is, yes, we're having fun here, but in 20, 30, 40, 50 years from now, when I'm in the midlife of my journey, but probably mostly gone, my grandkids can create something, or my kids can create something for their kids in my voice, and they can share it with their kids. Like, it's really, I forget what my grandparents sound like. Like, I think that's more interesting long term. So now they have a copy of my voice in my late 30s, early 40s,
right in your heyday,
my prime. So it's nice to have that, I think, long term.
I agree. And I'm actually working on a cool project to kind of do that exact thing that you're talking about. I basically built something that's going to be kind of a living diary. It's going to prompt me every couple days. It's going to put my answers in the voice, and at some point I'll be able to put it all together. So that's kind of partially why I'm doing it as well. I also think it's pretty cool to be able to put something out like this daily, because it requires a lot of work.
And it's honestly funny. Like, if you don't want to listen to it, if you're a fan of the show, it's funny to listen to. It's 5 minutes. Like, it's funny. You'll laugh.
We should probably start to give our AI versions like freedom to be different than us completely.
I agree.
You know what I mean?
It's very entertaining just to listen to it.
We'll work on the scripts back and forth.
Are we going to put in, since we have 1 minute of pain on an hour show, is it going to be like 5 seconds of pain on this 5 minute bite?
Oh my God, that was actually fucking hilarious. It would be really great if we just like cloned your voice for a really small segment, and then it was literally just 2 seconds long, and it's just like bye or like some random word. All right, Chamber's got to go. That's gonna do it for us. Scale of 1 to 10 on today's episode, Payne.
I'm giving you a 9.2 for getting Avi to come through here. That's impressive. If he ends up listening back to the show, definitely let me know. I'll be even more impressed.
We need 3 friends.
We need 3 friends.
That's
friends.
true. Let's get them. Different colors though.
That's gonna do it for us. Until next time, keep the mic hot.
What have I done? What have I become? I can't describe this.